Good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. Hello, 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 hello. Come in and say hello to me this morning. I always want to know who's with me when I jump on today. So here's the deal. Coming to you with my tea, my hot tea, my water. Um, but I didn't want to skip this morning because I thought it was so important. Because here's the thing. I know that you've got a lot on your plate. And it's easy to feel stuck when a mistake happens or when you're feeling overwhelmed. Me included, y'all, me included. And so I decided I wanted to come on and in this video share with you three really simple ways to shift your perspective and to get unstuck. Because I have to tell you guys that this has happened to me so many times, and sometimes when I'm choosing broadcast ideas, I'm thinking about things that I need to tell myself. Excuse me. So, as a dance studio owner, I know you're a whiz at helping your students move past the mistakes during their lessons, but sometimes we forget to apply those same concepts to how we run our business and how we correct ourselves. And so, if you're joining me, I'm Erin Burd, and I support dance studio owners just like yourself to grow their businesses and to create your own unique vision of success, all without the burnout and the overwhelm and the sacrificing of your personal lives. You don't have to do that. And so, as we come on today, jump in the comments, let me know that you're here because we love to learn out loud here. And so, what does that mean? When something resonates with you, I want you to drop in the comments like a hashtag takeaway, light bulb, right? We share that and we learn out loud together. It allows everybody to know where you're at, what your takeaways are, and it helps for them to think about these things too. And maybe you learning out loud here can help them along their way as well. And I have to tell you that if you know of a studio owner who could use to hear this message today, I encourage you to sprinkle the love around and take a moment and let them know that we are here and we're going to be having this conversation because I think it's a really important one, especially since we all feel stuck from time to time. And now, you guys, these principles, they can be used in your business life, but they can also be used in your personal life. So come on in, say hello, let me know where you're coming from. I want to know. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, spilling my tea. Maybe that means I need to take another drink. Spill the tea. Okay. So say good morning. Let me know that you're here. I want to know who is with me before we dive in. You could tell my throat is a little hoarse and I've been a little under the weather. And so I apologize in advance for that. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and jump in? But make sure you're jumping in the comments. Let me know. Also, if you want today's show notes, just below, drop show notes below, and we're going to turn this into maybe a blog or maybe good morning. Oh my goodness, what's the weather like in Baltimore? Is it still snowy? Oof, oof. Y'all know I love to go play in the snow. I don't want to live in the snow. Um, so if you want to get a hold of the show notes, I think I'm going to turn this into a blog, possibly. And so if you want that, let me know in the comments below, show notes, and me and my team will absolutely get those to you as soon as they are ready. Yes? Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in today. Today is 3 ways to get unstuck in your dance studio. And I know that some of these might be simple, but they're really, once I leaned into these, they were really, really helpful. Okay, just freezing, no new snow yet. Okay, well, stay warm. Stay warm, my friend. All right, so the first thing that we need to do when we are getting unstuck, and this one, you guys, I have to admit, is you have to embrace your mistakes, because here's what happens. When a mistake happens, inside your studio. Sometimes our first thought might be to retreat. Like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake and I got this really angry email back from a mom, and I just am going to hide and I don't even want to deal with it. Right? So I'm just going to do nothing because I don't want to admit that I made a mistake. And a lot of times it's not about us admitting that we made a mistake. It's about feeling shame that we weren't perfect. And you guys, here's the deal. None of us are perfect. We're all human. We're human and we make mistakes. And I want you to lean into this idea that if you make mistakes, it means that you're trying. It means that you are in the game. It means that you are taking action. It means there's growth, a moment of growth available for you if you choose it. And when we can embrace those mistakes as learning opportunities, right? Then we can allow ourselves to get unstuck. Because can I share with you, even this week, my goodness, because I was feeling under the weather, I wasn't checking things as much as I should. I was kind of just going through the motions. And some things maybe went out that at the wrong time or whatever it might have been. And it was a mistake. It was a mistake. And I could have allowed it to just make me stop, because there's been times where I've done that, where I've just taken a pause and been like, oh, I don't even want to deal with this. This is going to feel so horrible. But the truth of the matter is that when we embrace our mistakes and we acknowledge that we're in the game, we're here, we're trying, right? We're human. It allows us to continue to move forward. And I want us to think about our students, right? Let's say we're in the classroom and we teach them an 8 count, and they're going for it, and they get to a phrase or a movement and they don't get it right. It's a mistake. I don't think that we'd ever tell them, well, it means you're just not meant to do that move. No, we would tell them, that's okay. Mistakes show me that you're trying, and here's how we fix it, and we move forward, right? The same thing goes for us. And so many times I think that these mistakes or things will happen to us right when we're on the bridge of something really great is going to happen, right? And it's like our tester. Will we retreat and start to self-sabotage and tell ourselves that it wasn't meant to be because we made this one mistake? Or is it testing us to see if this is what we really want, and we have the moxie to still keep moving forward? And so I think the first thing is that when we're feeling stuck, sometimes we just need to embrace our mistakes and take them as growth opportunities, and a really helpful reminder that we're actually trying and we're in the game. Yes? Let me know. Have you guys ever felt like sometimes you make a mistake and you just want to retreat and hide? Me. I'm human, right? Yes, me. Let me know in the comments. I want to know. Now, this next one is we need to make room for success. And sometimes there's a lot of stories that we tell ourselves, and it starts from we're really, really little. And some of those stories are about how much success that we can have. And y'all know I love to read, right? I love to read. And so if you have not read the book, The Big Leap from Gay Hendricks, I absolutely believe that you should. But what I want to tell you is that sometimes we have this preconceived notion that we are only allowed a certain amount of success. And maybe we reach that level and we've told ourselves that's the ceiling, but really it's our floor. You guys, we get to decide what our vision of success is. But we have to lean into making room for success and knowing that whatever we want is possible. You get to decide. It takes work. And I was reading this study, and it was really interesting about some fleas. Now, y'all know fleas can jump like however many feet. Like, it's a crazy amount of feet, right? They've like studied how fleas can jump. I don't know. I'm probably going to get the number wrong, but like 100 feet or something like that. Anyway, I was reading this study, and they were talking about how they knew the baseline that fleas could jump up to, 100 feet. I'm just going to use that. Don't quote me because I know that number is probably not exactly right. But the moral is here in that they did a study, and they put these fleas in like a glass mason jar, and they put a lid. But the lid was clear. And so they could see out, right? But these baby fleas that were born or whatever, they would jump to the top, to the ceiling, they'd hit and they'd fall down. And they continue to do this, right? They birth new fleas. It's a cycle, y'all, right? Those new ones were let out of this thing, of this container. Yet they only still would jump the 2 feet because they were conditioned to think that that's as far as they could actually jump. Which to me just reminds me of like, maybe you've told yourself, or you've had those moments of, well, I can only achieve, I'm just you guys, if you've ever heard or someone told you, or you might have said, you're just a dance teacher, you're just a studio owner, that subconsciously has an effect on you, whether you want to admit it or not. And we have to actively make room for success. And we get to decide what success looks like to us. And so sometimes if you're feeling stuck, it could be because you have not really made room for success. And I want to point out here that success means so many things to so many different people. Success could be a monetary figure. Success could be getting to travel and do what you love and not be, bound to one place. Success could be being home 5 nights a week to have dinner with your family. Success could be feeling the impact from your community and seeing those kiddos that walked with you and were in your studio since the time they were little to graduating from college and getting married and having their own babies. There's lots of layers to success, but we have to make room for them. Because if we don't, we get stuck in this stagnant place of no growth because we have this idea of it can't get any better. Or it can't get any better for me. And the truth of the matter is that you get to decide. When's the last time that you really sat down and decided that you were going to make room for success and abundance and ease? I want to know. But if you're feeling stuck, you have to make room for success. Okay, number 3. You have to invest in yourself. And this isn't just about, monetarily, financially investing in yourself. You have to invest in yourself just as you invest in your students and in your family. And so does that mean investing in setting aside time for yourself, for self-care and self-love? What are you doing right now to invest in yourself? Is it investing in yourself and saying that, you know what? I don't have all the answers. I know Everyone thinks I'm Wonder Woman, and I think I have all the answers. But the truth of the matter is, maybe I don't have all the answers, and I need to invest in myself by asking for help. I want to know, how are we investing in ourselves right now? And maybe that does mean investing in a coach who can support you in your journey and get you where you need faster, right? If you're feeling stuck. Because sometimes there is that outsider's perspective who looks at things and can identify the gaps for you that you can't see because you can't see the forest for the trees when you're inside of it. So maybe it is investing and paying for support. For me, one of the ways that I was investing in myself was having a housekeeper come into our home and to help us out. Because cleaning the toilets did not bring me joy. And I would rather spend my time here with you today instead of cleaning a toilet. I feel like my time is better served in the world right now doing this, being here with you, and cleaning the kitchen, right? And scrubbing the baseboards. Because it doesn't bring me joy. Let's make that clear. And someone would tell me, but Erin, what I love, like cleaning releases all my stress. Great. Good for you. It's bringing you to do it. It's helping you out. It's helping you invest in yourself. Do it. But how are you investing in yourself? Is it going and getting that massage? Is it going and getting a pedicure? Is it spending time alone in just the quiet? I love that. Is it sitting out in nature and just like getting in tune with yourself and the way that your body feels? How are you investing in yourself? Because if you're not, that is the quickest way to get stuck in your business, to feel overwhelmed, to feel burnt out, to become stressed, and to shut down and start feeling stuck. So how are you investing in yourself today? Let me know in the comments. Or can we do this together right now? Can we take a moment to decide in one way that we are going to invest in ourselves this week? Drop it in the comments below. For me, my friends, I think I am going to I'm probably not spelling this right, you guys, because I'm trying to talk. So let me know in the comments. I am going to sit in silence, absolute silence, for 15 minutes and just ground myself every single morning. Because it allows me to start my day off feeling like I'm just in tune with what I need and what I want for the day. Let me know in the comments. And if you're coming back in on the replay, we want to know as well. Know that even if you come back in tomorrow, next week, 2 months from now, I get notifications and I will jump back in and continue the conversation with you. Because it's all about leaning in and learning out loud. And so while these 3 things might seem simple, for me personally, they've done a world of difference in really viewing things and shifting my perspective when I start to feel stuck. So, and that's my hope for you, is that when you start to feel stuck, you look internally and say, what is going on with me to cause me to do ABC? There's so many times, can I be real with you guys, that I might feel stuck about doing a task. It's not that I'm stuck. It's that I'm avoiding it, procrastinating it, and pushing it off because it's probably not my favorite thing to do. Even though I know it's really good for me, I need to do it. Prime example, when I was writing my book, The Passion and Profit Project, I would sit down at the computer and I'd go to type and I'd feel like there was nothing there. And so I would just say, oh, I'll write later. Oh, I'll write later. I've got all these other things I can do. Oh, I'll write it later. And I kept telling myself, I'm stuck. I'm not a writer. Well, really what it was coming back to those, right? Those stories that we tell ourselves that I wasn't, who am I? Imposter syndrome. I'm not a writer. Who's going to read my book anyway? I have nothing to say or nothing valuable to give y'all, right? Like, I am only, who am I to write a book? It's not going to do well anyway, right? Like all these limiting beliefs around my level of success and who I was. And so instead of me like going for it, I kept telling myself I was stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Y'all, I was stuck for a couple of years. I was stuck for a couple of years until I realized that these were all stories that I was telling myself. I had to get unstuck, but I had to do it for myself. And I had to realize that these 3 simple things, by doing these and shifting my perspective, y'all, I was able to complete that book and get it out to you in the world. All right, so today let's go ahead and do our speedy recap. In case you came in late or you're just coming back in later on the replay, I want to make sure that you get all of the goodness as well. So today, we are talking about 3 ways to get unstuck inside your dance studio. And really, this is about shifting our perspectives. It starts with embracing your mistakes. We have to take those mistakes as opportunities for growth, for moving forward, and for leaning into learning, and to really recognize that us making mistakes is part of the journey, and that making mistakes means that we were in action. We're human, y'all. We're gonna make mistakes, right? We're gonna make mistakes. But we get to decide how we show up once those mistakes are made. And that shifts you from being stuck and into motion again. The second thing is we have to make room for success. We have to make room for success. And there's so many times where we have these deep stories of what our ceiling of success is, based upon maybe what we were told as a child. My goodness, I remember sometimes thinking as a child, you might be told you're not good at math. So then you avoid your numbers in your business because you've been told that math wasn't your thing. And so you avoid those things. The truth of the matter is that you have to make room for success, and you have to decide where your ceiling is and what success looks like for you. But we have to really take a look at what are their stories, that we're telling ourselves. And if you haven't read The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, y'all, run, don't walk, and order that book for yourself, because it's one that I could read over and over and over again. The third thing is you need to invest in yourself. And the way that you invest in yourself could be time. It could be my 15 minutes of silence every morning, just to center myself, ground myself without all the distractions of the world going on. Maybe investing in yourself is getting outside your studio and spending some time with your loved ones or with a friend, or having that Zoom coffee date with someone who's across the country that you just want to chat with. Maybe it is getting support in areas of your life that you're feeling stuck in, right? And that could be something as simple as, you know what, I haven't cleaned the toilet in the last 2 weeks because I dread it and I don't want to do it and it doesn't bring me joy. So I'm going to get support with that. Or maybe it is in your studio space and you're like, I feel stuck. I don't know where to go from here. I need some help, but I don't even know where to start. Well, y'all, here to support you. We're here to help. There's always people in your corner to help you out. But a part of investing in yourself is actually stepping out and asking for the support. You have to do that for yourself. And with these 3 simple shifts, right, you absolutely can go from feeling stuck inside your studio, not knowing what to do next, to really feeling unstuck and knowing just what is the next right thing. Oh my gosh, am I going to start singing Frozen songs? To do the next right thing, right? But when sometimes we're stuck, our vision is blurred because we have all the different things that are overwhelming and surrounding us. And so, my hope for you today is that you're walking away with a few little nuggets of really how simple shifts in perspective can absolutely get you from feeling stuck to just making the tiniest step forward. Because if we keep taking tiny little steps forward, those tiny little steps build up momentum. And instead of us crawling, we're walking, we're running, we're sprinting, we're leaping across the finish line. But we can't do that if we're staying in a stagnant and stuck place, because we're allowing the mistakes or the overwhelm or the anxiety or the stress to keep us like stuck in the tornado and like you can't pull out of it. So, my friends, I want to thank you for joining me today. I know I was a little hoarse. I apologize. I'm excited about next week. For the next episode of the Erin Burd Live Show, I've got a lot of goodness planned for you. And if you're joining me, again, I'm Erin Burd, and I work with dance studio owners and educators just like you to create your own unique vision of success without the overwhelm, without the stuck, without the anxiety, and without giving up your personal lives. Because you deserve to have it all. So until next week, my friends, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay the amazing you that you are. Bye, my friends.